420 Talk. This your boy B. What's good, people?
What's up, bro?
What's up?
Yo, this your boy King Karim. We here.
It's your boy Dre Nice.
Hey, it's Steph the Oracle. How's everybody doing today?
Could be better.
Doing good.
Could be better.
What can I say?
Ask me why.
On this snowy day.
On snow days?
Man, that snow day was dreadful. It was dreadful.
Yeah, it was a little rough.
I still had to go to work.
You did?
Yeah, they closed the schools, but his behind still had to go to work.
My behind still got to go to work.
I had to go to work. You know what I mean?
And they held us for 12 hours, bro, every day.
Damn. And you still
I had to go. I couldn't leave until the relief got there, bro.
Time and a half?
Same here, man.
I mean, it's time. I mean, time and a half, time. However,
straight time.
However you want to take it. I mean, they got to pay us. But, you know what I mean, that the danger of getting to where you have to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's you know what I mean, when the governor and the mayor says, hey, don't be on the road. You know what I mean? If I had that option, I would not be on the road, bro.
But you're essential.
Yeah.
So you have to be on the road.
Yeah, I have to.
Damn.
You know what I mean?
You went to school?
No, they closed school. I couldn't go.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like, no.
Virtual.
I was doing virtual all this week, and I'm kind of tired, but, you know.
Yeah.
It's another thing, but.
That's because you're there.
Yeah.
Virtual, like, you got no option with that.
It was so much snow.
Yeah.
Like when they say, like, when you were in the movies and say whiteout conditions, I actually firsthand witnessed whiteout conditions, bro.
Damn.
That's scary.
Yeah. I mean, thank God for, good vehicles, you know what I mean, and praying and practice of driving in the snow.
Right.
And
Did they clean the streets by you?
No.
Yeah,
not
same,
at all.
same by us.
We got like 18 inches, bro.
They didn't clean by us either.
Plus, or 18 or plus?
Plus.
We couldn't even open the door in the house.
Yeah, we
bro.
couldn't even open the door in the house.
Since I was out, let me see, from 12:30 in the morning until 5 p.m. the next day, bro.
You were out for like 18 hours.
It took me 2.5 hours to get home.
When they said, the people are like, oh, 1 foot of snow. 1 foot is a lot of snow.
Absolutely.
A lot of snow. You know what I mean? And they were wrong. They were wrong.
Service too, right?
Yeah, they canceled service.
They were. Yeah,
what service?
Long Island Railroad.
Yeah.
No MTA, no bus.
Right, that's what I'm saying. They stopped it. So
I think there was bus service, but for employees only. But Long Island Railroad shut down. Subway shut down.
Yo, that's unreal.
And then
So you had to go to work? Like,
Yeah, Long Island Railroad still ran trains, but it was for employees only.
And it's super sad because like people have to get home. Like, you know what I mean? People who were there for already 16 hours or who already put their time in and they're ready to go home, they have no option to get home.
Yeah, man.
You know, and I would give Uber and Lyft, those guys, they were price gouging. A normal
definitely.
Really?
a normal ride was like up to that would cost $10 or like 3-4 times the rate. And that's unfortunate.
No, that's awful.
You know, people trying to get to make their living, and they were charging like $75 like for a local ride, $80 a local ride on Uber and Lyft.
Wow.
You know, so
Talk about hustling.
That's crazy, bro.
every day I'm hustling.
Talking about hustling.
That's not even a
cool
good,
hustle. You know what I mean?
Cool hustle, a good hustle to be like
dishonest hustle.
Yeah, because you just got to make sure you're gonna get home with no problem. Like,
and there were people that were having like power outages, and it was bad. I know in Queens they had no power outage. It was like, and then my friend in Long Island, she said she didn't have power either for like a 2-3 hours.
Damn.
So I was like, oh. So on top of that, you can't get cold. Now you cold.
Right.
Now you ain't got no power.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I hate when it comes down to that, because then I think about like other people, like the older communities and stuff like that they don't have, they can't go outside and shovel and stuff. You know.
Right.
So. And it's bad enough. We're already stuck inside.
Right.
Because of quarantine, because of COVID.
Right.
Now they're making you like with the Mother Nature saying you really can't go nowhere.
Right.
Yeah, you got to stay in the house.
Like, watch you get no COVID for at least 3 days.
You guys,
man.
And then with that, this snow was a little different because it just kept pouring on top of snow on top of snow.
Exactly, bro.
It didn't make a difference. You clean your car, you didn't clean your car, you shovel your driveway, you don't shovel your driveway.
Right.
You know, it just kept coming down. When they said 4 to 6 inches an hour,
it was horrible. Like I was on my way home, and they told us that Long Island Railroad was shutting down 2 p.m. No more service after 2 p.m. between 2 and 3. No more service. So I got out the city at 2:15, bro. That was the last train out. So I was on the last train. When I got to the platform, you see that they shoveled half the platform, and 2 minutes later, it's covered in snow again.
Crazy.
So it's like nonstop. They couldn't keep up.
Nah, you couldn't keep up.
Couldn't keep up, bro.
There was
too
a
much.
point. There was a point You know, I mean, I couldn't do nothing with my hip. You know,
Oh yeah, see?
so I know I couldn't do nothing at all.
Couldn't do that dip, bro?
Nah, I couldn't do my dip. You dip, I dip. You dipping alone. You dipping alone. I was over here like, yo.
He would have been out there shoveling. He would have dipped right into the snow.
Yeah, literally, I would have dropped.
Literally, he would have dropped.
Because you know, if I was good, I'm outside all.
Right.
But me, I'm the 4 a.m. guy. Like, because I sleep late, so I'm there. Like, they be like, damn, it wasn't snowing. Nah, that was me.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
I get up, I go handle business. You know what I mean, because I did what I had to do on my side. But this time, it was just like, nah, this is just ridiculous.
Yeah,
Nah,
yeah.
I
Remember
got
we-
home and I started shoveling too, bro. It's
off the rip.
Yeah. I had to,
Because
bro.
your mom shoveled, and then
Yeah.
I shoveled, then my
Oh.
kids shoveled, and then he
The little
shoveled.
people shovel.
Yeah, they
My
help.
oldest, he
He
helped.
did?
Yeah, he helped.
I know he was like, yo.
He was good. He needed to get out anyway. Poor thing. They've been inside all the time. So he was like, oh, can I go out in the snow? And they were excited. It was like, Mom, can we go outside? I was like, yo, throw yourself by.
Right.
Enjoy the snow. So that was a good thing to kind of see them happy about the snow too. I mean,
I think.
there's-
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
God for social media, and they show the severity of what's going
Oh,
on.
dude,
The-
it
you
was
know what I mean,
bad.
it's not like watching the weather report anymore. You know, I mean, you don't have to stay tuned to Channel 5 or Channel 7, ABC.
Right.
Mrs. Freeze and Sam Champion, whatever.
Champion. That's my
You know
guy,
what I
man.
mean,
Shout out
so you know.
to, shout out to
He's
S
champion.
Chip.
he's been on the air for years.
For years.
you know,
Years.
I mean, luckily we have social media, and you can actually see exactly what's going on in your neighborhood. You know what I mean? And unfortunate. I mean, what happened in Pennsylvania,
Oh,
right?
dude, yeah, man.
Did you hear that story?
Now,
I mean-
it's you're thinking about snow, and then this pops up,
And
Yeah,
this
man,
pops
it's
up.
crazy.
and you're just like, so like neighbors get into it over snow, and this guy decides to go shoot his neighbors,
Yeah, man.
the husband and wife, and to make matters worse. But let's start from the beginning. So they're going at it, arguing about God knows what, but people say
Who knows?
snow.
Yeah, it was
Right?
shoveling
'Cause that's
snow.
all-
Do you
yeah.
think it's like
Mm,
because of a parking spot, or do you think it was
I don't
because
know.
No, they have driveways, so I don't know. Like,
Right,
in
they
the
got
video.
driveways.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
regular.
So
okay.
it could be like they were probably shoveling and just throwing it on that side. Who knows? You know, like we don't know.
But
honestly,
you're across the street.
Yeah, maybe
though.
he hated him so much and just
Yeah,
this is some
That
build up.
rivalry,
This is
bro.
definitely a build up.
definitely a build up.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Build
see,
up,
you
you know what I
see
mean?
a build up.
A
Yeah,
build up of anger, a build up of tension,
right.
a build up of resentment towards each other, whatever the case may be.
Yeah,
I'm hoping they have more things to argue about than snow versus. You know what I mean?
forget it.
Yeah.
It's-
You know, so
Tragedy.
But the
it's
thing
super.
is,
It's super sad.
It was
I mean,
super
we're not even
sad.
joking about this no more.
Seeing the video, I mean, we're not posting it on Facebook, but
nah,
No,
nah,
but
nah.
who said that they saw it? They was on
was
It's
on
on
World
World
Star.
Star.
It is up
It's on-
there
It's
already.
on World
Yeah.
Star.
but
know,
but
You know,
if you see the exchange back and forth,
Mhm.
you like you mentioned that the tension that was there, it was just a name calling in the back and forth.
Yeah.
And we don't even have to be there to understand how angry, the tone, everything like that. So how do we think about that? How do we de-escalate that situation? Like, what do you think could have been done better? Like, if y'all getting mad over snow, what else are you getting mad about?
Well, you know what? They could have walked away. Like somebody
What's
on the other side
Agreed.
could have walked away. You know, my thing is,
he did walk away
If-
though. He walked away.
No.
He walked away angry.
He walked away angry, but the dude
Yeah,
kept
to go
going,
get his
right?
gun, bro.
So there's certain words I think as a grown up you don't call people, and a friend of mine was saying it too when he sent it to me. I guess you just don't call somebody pussy, and you're an adult, because
So you got
there's certain things nowadays that's fighting words as adults,
like
like
triggers people.
right, like if you're a grown man and somebody calls a grown man, hey fat man, like
Mhm.
nobody does that anymore because you're an adult now, unless you're a comedian or whatever.
Right.
Right.
But you don't do that no more. They'll look at you like, yo, that's a grown man you're talking to. You know, so that word, he said pussy. So he said, what?
He used to call them a queer.
And then he called him a queer, right? But the queer word was first. Then he said pussy. Then he said, what?
You know, I ain't no pussy.
And he went, yeah. But
Yeah,
Gotta
but-
defend himself.
But the
Right.
thing is, it's like, again, those are just words.
right.
That's the thing. There's a way to ignore words,
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
but I
yeah.
know that there's intention behind it, and that's what
Right.
that was the scary thing about it.
Right.
That was what's scary about it. So like,
Right.
if you're out here, you're trying to. You probably had a bad day, like you mentioned. Like there's tension. You probably had a bad day,
Mhm.
but does that take it to the extent that you have to come outside with a gun and? Do
Yeah,
that?
but they
That's
they
the
probably who
question.
knows they probably had this rivalry for years.
You're
you know,
talking about,
back
like,
and forth.
history.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had
The history was
it
there.
was more than one occasion where they argued.
Right,
They
and
probably
he said it was
bumped
the
into each
build
other.
up.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the build up.
or you know, I hate that guy. That he's across the street. I hate those mother. It was something, but
I never met. I've never met neighbors that like.
nah.
Well, I have a story.
Yeah, you have a story
Really?
about
Yeah.
a neighbor story.
Yeah, like I think it was a year or 2 years ago.
Mhm.
I don't have a driveway, so I park in the sidewalk. I
Mhm.
spent 2 hours shoveling that spot.
Mm.
So when I came home from work, I see this guy about to.
But is he your neighbor or a stranger?
Well, he lives in the building around the corner.
Okay,
Okay.
so he's not.
I know who he is.
Okay.
But
seen him
we
before,
never
for
talked and everything. But I know who he is. So he, like I said, he was backing up. I just came in. I just pulled right in, and he was like, "Yo, I was gonna park there." I said, "No, you're not." He's like, "Yo, I was gonna park there." So we exchanged words. I said, "Bro, I spent 2 hours shoveling this spot. You ain't effing parking here."
Right.
And then he was like, "You know what? You can have it." And then he just left.
Mm.
Now that like 2 years later, now that I think about it, I was thinking about this like a couple days ago. Like, I was being an asshole. I should have
Right.
just let him go, but I was tired, and I wanted the spot.
Mm. Well, you're not being an asshole, because I get it. My thing is this: like, people have to understand, all of us, we don't own that street though.
Right.
Regardless,
Right.
because I remember when I used to rent a room several years back, the lady who I was renting the room from, she said, "Hey, do me a favor, move your car so, because you're in front of the people's house." I really wanted to say they don't own the street. They could park across the street because that's what it is.
Did they have
you
a
know?
driveway? Or was
And they
like-
have the driveway. Yeah, they got a driveway too.
Oh, but were you blocking their driveway?
No.
Oh,
I was just in front of their house. Like, I could have said no. Like, what are you talking about? They don't own the street. But in
Right.
reality, there was tons of room. I said, okay, let me just reverse the car.
Right, but
know?
you took it upon yourself to say, "Listen, I don't want no problem."
Right. It
Right.
was like not that. It wasn't deep at all.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
So,
you took the higher road.
Yeah. Like, I don't got time for
I should have
this.
done
Like,
that, but later on, I was like, you know what? I'm tired. I want my spot.
Right.
I don't feel like shoveling again.
Mhm.
So then he never parked there again. That guy.
But that's warrant
that's really
for
sad, though.
death, yo.
that's sad.
To make matters worse, he went back after he shot him. Went back and got the AK.
Yeah.
He went to get a bigger gun. Now at the end, he said, "Pussy, huh?"
Yeah.
So that word hit him.
Yeah.
There's a word that triggered him, and it was that word, because that's the only thing he remembered to say. And then he shot.
Yeah.
But you went to get a second weapon? Like, whoa. Like, what were you going to prove? Because you already done the damage. And then now this guy killed himself.
Yeah.
They found his
Also,
body in the house.
he committed suicide.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah, he killed himself.
Wow.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he came to realization.
Yeah, no, he came
Yeah,
to,
he probably
he woke up.
after the rage. he
After
said,
the
"Oh,
red."
snap! This is what I did.
A blackout. Just straight
It's always
Probably
like
just
that.
blacked
Once
out,
the
yeah.
smoke clears, once the cloud clears,
Mhm.
and we've all been in that. I mean, we've all been in that situation
Yeah.
where your judgment gets clouded by your anger.
Right.
Of course.
And
Guilty.
and those choices are the ones that last.
Right.
And my other point is don't let your emotions make your decisions. We do
Right.
that. That's a
Word of the wise.
word of the
Right.
wise.
Word of the wise,
think with
yeah.
your think with your head.
Mhm.
Stay clear. Always look at the big picture.
Mhm.
Yeah, especially now that we're older. We gotta
Yeah.
we
You
gotta
have
pick
a
our
lot
battles.
to lose. Pick your battles.
Yeah.
And it's okay to lose now. It's
Nowadays,
okay.
yeah,
Yo,
it's
it's
just-
not. Yo, there's nothing wrong with losing.
Right. What's the saying? Sometimes when you think you lost, you really won.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense now as an adult.
but I think that
course.
at this point, it didn't apply to him at that point.
Oh, no.
For him,
It's like a bunch of peacocks, bro. Just
Yeah.
see who got the best feathers here.
Right. Like, talking about, like, that one moment that changed your life forever to death.
Yeah.
Like, snow? Like, really? Like,
I also look at this when I see this neighborhood, and it doesn't look like this. Looks like the burbs. This looks like people who
Pennsylvania, bro.
are. I'm not gonna say struggling, but they're comfortable. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and it does, beautiful house, a cul-de-sac, right? Looks like it's a
Yeah, it looks
cul-de-sac,
like a
a cul-de-sac in the corner. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
And it looks like what? Like it's like the East Coast West Coast rivalry over there. Like you know what I mean? Like
man.
it's just across the
Yeah, man.
street.
Yep. That
Yeah.
block is
Luzerne
it's-
County,
it's-
Pennsylvania.
Lucerne County.
Luzerne County. It's my first time ever hearing of Luzerne County for anything.
Damn,
It's so big that it made like NPR news. Like, it's not even local news. This is like national news report.
That's so sad.
yeah, because
though.
now that block is tarnished now. Like it's gonna have that history from now on.
Yeah.
People always gonna remember that now. Like, you know.
The lady said, "You on video? You on video?" She screamed that out.
Yep.
Man, he saw red, man.
He saw nothing. He didn't
saw
care about
red.
no video.
Yep.
He didn't care about
Yeah.
none of that.
His day had to be was going on from worse to worse to like this
To
is
build
it.
up. The build
Disaster.
up.
Yeah.
The
How
build
about
up.
this? Do you think it was a bullying situation?
I don't think so.
Do
You
you
know,
think that? Oh, so you're saying is that their first encounter?
No, that's not their first encounter.
No, that's
that's
what
what
I
I was
said
gonna-
earlier.
I-
I think this
I don't think
rivalry
so.
was there.
Right, but I don't think
They have
it
a
was.
history.
I don't think it was as much because you know what it is to me. I felt like if it was their first encounter or their second encounter, I think they would have been throwing fists at first to be like, yo, you know, it had to be a scrapped prior to it.
Right.
You had to.
Oh, so you thinking they probably had
They had
some
history.
words
They
before,
had
but they had
history,
some
yeah.
words, yeah.
and then they like throwing fists, and
Had
then he's like,
to.
"I'm gonna get you the next time you
Right.
come and say whatever
Right.
the case may
You
be."
know how it is. You let things die down, and then okay, we ain't talked to them in
But
months
some
or
people don't let
years.
stuff go.
That's true. That's
And
true
I'm one of
too.
them.
That's oh god. Oh,
My take on it is like
Steph is
those are not
Oh,
even
man.
hunting guns. Those are like protection guns.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It makes me feel like let me look up Luzerne County and let me see what the crime rate is, or let me see what the burglary rate is. Like
Right.
that this guy was packing this heat in his house. Like he has to
Damn.
protect. Like what's going on over there? That he has to protect his family with an AK,
Do you think it
Right.
might be
with
animals?
an AR. What was it? AK or
I
AR?
look like a look like an AK.
An AK. Yo, man.
It could have been a sniper rifle for all we
Nah,
know.
Nah, it was
I'm
brat,
just-
brat,
what
brat.
I'm-
here.
No,
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying,
exactly.
it was just like it was just an unnecessary
You
gun.
hear
Like
the
if I
recoil.
said to
You
you,
hear
if
the
I
recoil
said
in
to
the
you,
video.
"Oh, that's a sniper gun," you're looking at me, "Oh, but you don't know what it look." It was unnecessary in the first place.
Yeah.
Right.
Regardless, whatever it was. Was it for animals? I mean, could it be that it's for
Mhm.
animals or whatever the case may be?
hmm
I don't know.
I mean,
like,
Well, yeah. Over there, you're allowed to have arms for hunting and stuff like that. Maybe he was a
in
hunter.
PA, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but still.
Not just necessarily to protect your property.
So, do you think he felt threatened?
Probably
That's-
did.
Yeah, something obviously something was going on in his life
He was-
overall for
right.
him to have those. But remember, some people got gun fetishes too. So
Of course,
You know?
that's their hobby. You know, they
Right.
collect
That's their
guns.
It'd be some
hobby.
shit if he was like in the military. It'd be some shit like
Could-
if they go to PTSD,
PTSD.
yeah,
and hearing that,
right.
like that would be something to uncover in that story.
Right.
But it says here, Luzerne County saw fewer homicides in 2019 with 100% clearance rate.
Look at
That
that.
was in 2019.
Damn.
Like 100%, like nothing happened.
But think about the time period.
right.
The buildup of quarantine, the buildup of COVID. You got to stay in your house. People losing their jobs. People
They
not
lost
able
Trump.
to.
Mhm.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Not even that. People got to stare at each other. You got to look at this guy across the street every day
Right.
and be like, I'm tired of that tree. I mean, or something, whatever it was.
Like I said, there's probably
what-
was history there.
yeah.
You know?
What's like?
It's-
He put too many Christmas lights up. I don't know. He didn't take it down fast enough. Who knows what happened across the street? Because we only got
right.
one side of
The
that
story,
one
yeah.
side of that camera
hmm
to see
Yeah.
what happened. Because
Right, but then again, the video doesn't show the beginning
the
portion.
video shows them walking to each other's house. Like I'm
Exactly.
walking
Just
to my-
yelling. Yeah, they
and
show you
yelling,
where,
yeah, they're just like going back and forth.
right.
You know,
They show where the freaking the what do you call it, the argument
the
started.
argument started. Yeah,
They don't know. We don't see what exchanged
We
before
never
that.
do.
Right.
We never
And maybe
do.
the police leaked it out. Like as who knows who? You don't know who leaked it out.
Yeah, we don't. I don't know. And you made a good point. You said, Steph said, well, who put this out? How did he get it from their house already to the press or whatever? Like that was pretty fast.
Right.
You know, that is real. How do you do that already? You
Right.
know?
Like I said, we have a Ring camera at home,
Right.
and the only way for me to upload is if I download the video
Right.
to my phone or something. You know,
If you don't do that, it's just there.
yeah, it's just there. It just stays in the cloud for
Yeah, it
like.
stays in the cloud.
I
Stays
think
in
it
the
stays in the cloud
server
for like 6 weeks
or something. It stays in the server
before it
So-
erases over each other.
Oh,
Like
okay. Because when it's too much info.
Yeah, it's too
so
much, and the
one-
last video gets deleted, and it just keeps going.
don't sleep on the
overwriting.
cloud, man. I don't sleep on these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, they're capable of anything with the.
Oh, you're absolutely
You know,
right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. But it's just like the.
It's in the clouds.
It's in the cloud. It's in the cloud.
But condolences to both families.
Yeah.
You know,
Sheesh.
my heart goes out to both
Unfortunate.
families.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just
Um,
never know. Kids left behind.
We don't know the whole
Girlfriend.
story,
Right.
but lesson learned,
Yep.
firsthand.
Mhm. So,
And lesson learned firsthand, and definitely turn the other cheek. Walk away, and
it's not worth it
it's
now.
not.
It's not worth
It's
it.
not worth it.
Not now. It's just anymore.
yeah, it's just
Especially
such a
at
wrap.
our age.
Yeah.
And those aren't little kids. Those, that's not even 18, 19. These are grown
48,
folks.
50, and I forgot.
They're
how
grown
old the other
folks.
guy was.
Yeah, but then in the video you see, I don't know if it's the son. that
There's
came-
I think those are neighbors or those. I
I
don't
think
know.
it was a neighbor.
It
Yeah.
probably was a
But the-
neighbor.
but
They look
the-
young. They look
They
young.
look young.
Yeah.
So we don't know.
Because he simply said, "Are you okay?"
I'm happy they ran because he came back with the
Yeah,
came back
because
with
he
the
could have came and
AK.
got them too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just for being an innocent bystander.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
could have
man.
been that. Oh, I would have. That would have been something to mean like you're coming by, you hear somebody in trouble, and then you get hurt in the process.
Yeah.
Crazy. It's so sad.
And the guns just increased in that area now. So look, man. R.I.P. to those folks. We'll be back with some shows and movies. 22. It's your boy Ernby. So I gotta ask you because I'm the only one here who really, really, really loves sports a little too much. But I think answer King Karim.
Yo.
You like football?
Yeah.
Who do you have? Super Bowl
I mean,
coming up.
Even though there's some questions about his integrity,
As always.
but I do.
what are you talking about?
I do.
Tom Brady.
Tom
Uh-oh.
Brady. I do have I do put my money on Tom Brady.
Okay. I got the young boy who
Patrick
they gave 10 years, $500 million to.
Mahomes.
Yeah, if the Chiefs could believe in somebody like that, I can believe in somebody like that. 10 years, $500 million, half of it guaranteed.
Half of it guaranteed.
So just in case he might say, I don't want to play football no more, guys, he has $250 million.
in the bank.
I'm 50-50, man. Like I want both of those guys to win. But
Explain.
I like Patrick Mahomes.
I was like,
Explain.
As much as I hate Brady, he's like the LeBron James of football.
right.
You
Well, no,
gotta, you
he's
hate
the
him,
Michael
but you still
Jordan.
love him. You
He's-
gotta love him.
Oh, okay.
You know, but who knows? Like I said, like I told you guys before, my man Tom Brady got no running game, bro. He always stay in the pocket.
Yeah.
Patrick gonna be run. He has a severe running game.
Yeah, he got a smooth,
Exactly.
not the fastest, but you can't touch me.
Yeah, exactly.
Running game, except for a couple of weeks ago
But
when he got knocked off.
Tom Brady got
Had knocked
robbed, right? He still got Gronkowski next to him.
That don't mean nothing right now because that's not
That-
Gronk from 10 years ago.
Don't matter.
Or 7 years
that's
ago.
his superstar. That's his player.
We'll see.
So you trying to tell me
It's PIC, bro.
Tom Brady's gonna
Partner in
lie,
crime.
cheat, and steal his way?
Deflategate.
Yo, Tom, listen to me. We gonna meet one day. Even though I got Mahomes doing this thing against your guys' defense, because I know I've been watching this game and this whole movement for a long time. Chiefs got it.
I think I seen the Chiefs book on eBay, bro. The playbook on eBay.
Stupid. You're stupid, yo.
I think you can
They're
find,
giving that shit up for free.
you can find anything on the internet nowadays. Tom Brady was just on Amazon, like, yo,
Wow.
yo,
They said, yo, Tom, let me see the football back. Give me a minute. Give me a minute.
give me a minute.
Okay, here you go. All right.
No.
But like either way, man,
Yo.
as much as they talk about the integrity, they do talk about that. I was actually reading something about that, about Tom Brady. Either way, you won 6 Super Bowls. You went there 10 times. You're going there 10 times.
Like, yeah. I don't have to be a football star to like be obsessed with football, but that's just a level of respect. Like,
Right.
you gotta respect that. Like,
Right. And don't get me wrong, there's other guys who win about 4 times, 5 times, which is like you go one time.
One time.
It's
Yeah, I was
It's
gonna
like,
say.
But-
You're in the Hall of Fame one
Right,
time. One
but
time. Yeah, you know what I
The
mean?
guys who went there 4 times, 5 times, some 6, because
Eli
some of them were with
Brady,
Tom.
Eli Manning.
Eli went twice. He won twice.
But isn't he in
Tom
the Hall of
Brady.
Fame now? No.
Yeah. No, not
No,
yet.
his brother
He's
is-
just
brother.
retired.
Yeah, his brother is.
Yeah, his brother is. But if anything, I like I said, man, that's just fantastic. That's
Yeah.
that's insane, to go that many times to the Super Bowl.
Shout out to my my mom. She's she works for the stadium, so she helps with getting the guests in and things like that. So she's doing Super Bowl.
Concierge.
So she,
Right.
she gets to
That's
see
awesome.
all the shows, the halftime.
She ain't call me neither.
Shout out to my mom out there. I know you're listening, my number 1 fan, listening to 20 Talks. So.
Mama Oracle, what up?
Mama Oracle.
We got the halftime show. The weekend is supposed to be the main attraction for the halftime show.
Did he really change his face or not? Is that
No, that's
No,
prosthetic.
that was just
for the
prosthetic.
video.
That was just for the video, to my understanding. But they're not doing Super Bowl commercials this year.
Not doing some
What?
Nope. Yup.
All the money's going towards COVID.
Yep.
COVID research.
They're not.
Yeah.
They're not doing commercials this year. I read about it. And I was like, oh,
That's true.
It was like that's crazy.
Well, there's one trailer that is coming out. The Justice League trailer is coming out during halftime.
Yeah, but no beer commercial.
yeah, but
No,
that's
put
like
the movie out.
that's a movie. That's
That's
not
a
like
movie.
like
Yeah, but it's a
Doritos,
Doritos,
or
Budweiser,
Heineken, stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like
Yeah.
You got all your chips already ready, your dip already ready, your wings, and you sit down and watch the whole Super Bowl, especially for those commercials.
I know.
Love those
I know.
commercials, but wow.
Yeah, they're
Not
not
at all?
They're not doing the commercials this year.
But this is 20 Talk,
Mhm.
and we care about what the audience thinks,
Right.
and we want to know what your predictions are.
Right.
So, Steph, tell them where to find us.
Guys, you can find us on all the major podcast platforms. We're talking about Anchor.
Mm.
You can find us on Spotify.
Mm.
You can find us on Apple.
Mm.
You can find us on Google. You can find us on Breaker Radio and
Mm.
Radio Public at 20 Talk 20. Now, don't forget, you can also find us in Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
Instagram,
We're there
TikTok,
all day.
and we're there. Like, follow, share, guys.
Yo, we love the feedback.
Yes.
We love the feedback. Feedback. I mean, that's the only way you get better in life. Feedback.
Yeah. You got to get critiqued regardless. And I mean, we're doing a great job if I say so myself, But yeah, holla at us when you can. I really want to know what everybody thinks overall about this commercial situation, because I don't understand. So there's no commercials, or there's old commercials though, right?
Probably regular
Just
commercials
old-
that out now.
Here's the thing. To my understanding, how much was it per like a minute or 5 minutes
It was
for
like $2 million.
just like a million,
30 seconds.
million,
Yeah,
like
for 30
a
seconds.
million
Mhm.
something dollars just to have it, so they can see the money going somewhere else.
Mhm.
So I can't say was it the best decision for them. It was.
It is in the long
It
run.
is, in the long run. Yeah, it
in the
is.
long run, it is.
It makes sense.
That's a business game, and especially with what's going on right now,
Mhm.
and it's an investment in themselves in the long run.
Priorities.
Yeah, absolutely. Like
Yeah.
we need this thing. I mean, I watch a lot of people who talk about astrology and stuff, and these people, I guess they're good at it. So we'll see. They talk about when things are really gonna simmer down and things are gonna get somewhat back to normal.
Right.
At like in the middle of the summer, things is really
Nah.
the will of God. The will. Hey! I just said.
I know.
The will of God, man. This guy said, nah. It's like, golly.
Oh,
what
he's
did God do,
cynical.
right?
Me personally, I don't think things won't go back to normal until maybe 2022.
Ah, man. When you talk sometimes, I just want to be like, Steph, get him.
I usually spit facts, bro.
No,
And
you
truth.
don't.
And truth.
That's the fact.
No,
And
no,
truth.
no.
Don't claim that.
The thing
It
is,
is.
the thing
Oh
is
my
that
God.
is that
God forgive 'em.
when people are understanding of the situation, there are those that are positive about it, and then
Right.
there are those that are negative about it.
I'm not
guy.
negative about it.
A
that's-
little bit,
Yeah.
a little bit.
I agree with your wife. That's negativity, fam.
It's not negativity. It's
That's-
reality.
No. That's negativity.
No,
You can't
it's-
say
it's not
2022.
negative.
We don't know that.
I'm optimistic that it will end soon, but I don't see soon being this summer.
Oh my God.
Okay, so if as long as there's evidence
Unbelievable.
base, if it's evidence based, then you can go ahead and say I don't see it happening.
Right.
Right. If people are not being vaccinated, if people are still going out and they're not, practicing safe distancing
mask.
and no mask, then I can still say, yes, it's possible that it can still continue. But it's always about taking the higher road. Yes, we know that things can be bad.
Right.
Mm,
Let's take it in the right direction.
the energy you put out there. But look,
Right.
look, I ain't gonna lie to you. The vibe. Matter of fact, not even the vibe. There's a point where you just had to keep your mask on towards the end of the little things. And Denzel, I'm sorry, man. The writers who wrote this movie, I don't know what they were thinking. I think they had too much hookah or whatever
Not
they
enough,
were doing,
maybe.
or not enough, man. So we're talking about the little things with starring Denzel Washington, Jared Leto. What's my guy name?
Rami Malik.
Rami
Rami
Malik.
Malik, man. Phenomenal actors,
Oh,
obviously.
so, I mean,
Everybody won an Academy
Superb
Award,
lineup.
right?
Yeah.
superb lineup.
cast. Yep.
One of those movies where you're like, I gotta see it. Okay.
That's exactly what it was. Yo, I gotta wait till the drop Friday. I can't wait.
I thought I was living in slow motion watching that movie. Bro. That shit. I mean, the whole,
Just like WandaVision.
it was super slow.
Don't bring up that show.
I was just like, it was just like it was just slow for me, and then, like when I give everything a chance, but and I sat through the whole thing waiting for this spoiler alert, this zinger to happen.
Right.
And
so you waiting for it to pop off?
I was waiting for it, and I got a dinger. Like, and I'm like, it wasn't a zinger. It was like, okay, wait, what?
Yeah.
And, all right,
It's a suspense movie, so there's a point
The
where
suspense thriller. Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
the 30-minute period has to be like, ooh, here we go.
Yeah.
It was like, it was good for me because Denzel Washington,
of course,
he's just killing it from 30 minutes. Denzel Washington is the only guy to look great in a bad situation in every movie I watch, yo. They make him look like God, but you're still God to us, though. It's okay that you messed up really, really bad as your character, but he still looks awesome. It's like he's a legend.
He can't do no wrong,
right?
In the eyes of the audience,
right? With his character, right?
Right.
Just love him.
It was like, man, like they did him a disservice, man.
So what do you think, like, with the gist of the movie? Like, what was it for you? Was it just not? It didn't pick up fast enough. There wasn't enough detail.
At me. I'm sorry, Steph, because he's waiting.
He's waiting.
He's waiting.
He's waiting.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Go ahead.
So, do you want to pick up from the just?
I want to hear your thoughts first.
You want to hear my thoughts first?
No, yeah, their thoughts.
Their thoughts.
Like me personally, I didn't think it was bad. I didn't think it was good. I enjoyed it all the way to the end. And to me, it was a little different than all your other suspenseful
thrillers,
killer movies. Yeah, thriller movies.
Mm-hmm. Right. Why?
This wasn't Seven. There wasn't Silence of the Lambs. Where at the end they find the killer. The killer's either like it's a game to them. They're either in prison or they find a way for the protagonist to kill the antagonist. So it was different. This one kind of left you in a cliffhanger.
Absolutely.
Okay, so before we let Ern talk, let's go over the reviews. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 48%. Metacritic gave it.
Before he let Ern talk, ouch.
Metacritic gave it 54%.
Yeah,
and
that's about right.
Common Sense Media gave it 3 out of 5.
Who is Common Sense?
Never heard of them.
I mean,
what about
never
IGN?
heard of them.
What about IGN?
IGN, let's see.
IMDb.
IGN.
Like I said, to me, like I love all three actors. I think they did great, phenomenal. Jared Leto did play a creepy ass mofo.
Still got a 54%. Still got a 6.3.
Wow.
But you know why though?
Because of the cast.
Acting.
No.
And the acting.
Good acting.
No.
It was good acting.
Yeah,
the acting was great.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But you were saying it's the script, or you were saying
I think it's the writing.
That's what he said. That's what he said.
No, the script
but the movie just leaves you in a cliffhanger at the end.
Hold on. What are we agreeing? Because we're agreeing on something. You think the script was good?
I thought it was okay. It wasn't bad.
It was bad.
It wasn't terrible.
Every movie with a bad ending becomes a bad movie, bro.
but it wasn't a bad ending.
Hold on. Let me tell you what I agree on. I agree on it being on HBO Max and part of my subscription that I already paid for, and not being paid
and not paying extra
to go see it in the movie theater. I agree to that. And I agree that movies should now, in this situation, open my eyes. It was like, okay, we should have them come out in the movies and on streaming formats, because Lord knows I had to pause that movie and take a nap and restart it.
And come
It
back to
was
it.
not even that bad.
Nah, it wasn't that bad.
I mean,
It wasn't even bad.
It was just slow for me. For me, it was just slow, and I was expecting.
White Tiger was slow for me.
White Tiger was slow too. It was, but both movies were 2 hours. So the little things was 2 hours
plus.
2 hours plus.
And
White Tiger was 2 hours plus. So a plus is like I said, the option of going to the movie theater or watching it in the convenience of your own home.
It's up to you.
It's up to you. So, and like I said, a 2-hour movie. If I had to, in the movie theater, you invested. You invested.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You sitting down.
So you would have fell asleep in the theater?
Nah, I would have got a free refill on my popcorn. I would have got free refill on my popcorn.
He would have got to a bathroom break.
Some pretzel bites.
Come back.
And I'm like, whoa, they still didn't get to the build up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the build up was unique because I said there was a part where
you felt like it was a turning point.
The turning point where Denzel's character couldn't see Jared Leto's face when he walked in there, and he said he wanted to see the surveillance tapes in that one part episode, when he went to his job. So the camera he turned, and then Denzel tried to look, and he said, And then when Denzel walked out, that's when he turned around and showed his face. To me, it wasn't the best build-up, but that was it.
Right.
That was the point, And then it was good because Denzel kept catching up to this guy now.
Right,
so
right.
It was like, ooh. And then he was getting pissed, though. He was getting upset, like...
Who was getting upset?
Jared Leto's character. He was getting upset. It was like a smooth mad because he's being followed.
Right.
Now he knew he was being followed.
Right, but now he's like...
Do you think he knew? Early on?
Early on, he didn't.
That's what I was going to... Early on, he didn't know.
Right.
Early on, no, he didn't.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, it's like, again, if we're doing based on the movie, if he's picking up his suspect and what is he looking at? What are the clues? What is he doing? That was, for me, I thought that was interesting because, again, he's going back and forth talking to the coroner who happened to be the best friend or a good friend from long ago. And the whole time we're trying to figure out, well, why is Denzel so obsessed with this case in the first, in the first place?
Right, because it had similarities to one of the previous
cases that he had. Yeah. And I love that it was a back and forth.
So he wasn't sure if this guy was a copycat.
Right.
Or the actual killer that he's been chasing down for the last
all these
5 years.
5 years,
right.
So we don't know, but they never tell us at the end.
And then my take on after I woke up was like my take on it is that the movie told the audience, they threw a change up on the script on
absolutely
this. So they made the audience feel that this is not the antagonist is not the real antagonist. The antagonist was the main character all along. You know what I mean? It wasn't the protagonist. It wasn't Denzel. No, it wasn't Jared Leto.
It wasn't Jared Leto,
They made Jared Leto the antagonist.
It made him look guilty the whole entire way.
Yeah.
And I'm still saying that he was not guilty.
So, and the real...
You're saying that he was the killer?
I said that he was not the killer.
So he wasn't the killer.
All right, he wasn't right.
I said for me, he's not the killer.
I'm saying he's not the killer.
He still looked like...
He's saying he is the killer.
I think...
Because of your facts, which is wrong.
No, I never said facts.
Why are you saying that?
Yo, you see?
He just starting.
No, because
this is the moment he's like...
He's setting it up.
I wanted to do this for like 2 seasons now.
him.
No, man. I didn't say it was facts. I felt like it was facts. But me, I'm such a Denzel fan, man. Right. And I try to save that movie, but I couldn't.
So you're trying to look past the back.
Yeah.
No, but not for nothing. But Denzel plays pretty much the same characters all the time.
But that's what I'm saying.
His facial demeanor is all the same. Like he's sad. When he saw the ex-wife.
Well, that's every actor, then, if that's the case. Like, you can't give a guy, in defense of Denzel, you can't give a guy 20 million, 25 million, 30 million to be like, he has the same face, because that's insane. Now, I mean, God is great, but even God would be like, yo, Denzel, you got to change your face up.
You got to change it up.
For me to give you $30 million for the scene.
No,
for this movie. Like,
but
come
for
on
me, I love the fact that it was different. It was set in the 90s. Right. The whole beginning started out, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. We never see the killer's face.
Right.
We don't see everything. We don't know.
We don't know. Right.
So then
you just see a silhouette. You couldn't even tell the beginning when the car was driving by.
All of that. You couldn't tell. Right. So when it came down to like, okay, is he the killer? And I'm like, that dude's not the killer. You can have all the evidence to prove it. It's all circumstantial.
Right.
From a standpoint from, if I was a lawyer and it's like, oh, you don't have enough evidence or whatever. But for me, I still don't think he was the killer.
I don't think so either.
I mean, it looks like he's not,
Right.
And the reason that he looks like he's not is because at the end, when this guy just go by barrettes, and spoiler alert, and throws the new barrettes away and just... Here, let me just send him this guy so he could calm down.
Right, and the reason for
I'm over here like, oh, he found it.
No.
Yes, thank God. And then when he pulled out the new Beretta,
he threw out the other ones. Right.
I was like, no.
Right, and then
did he do it or not?
Right, so, and the reason for that was because Denzel, when we see what happened with his case, when he ended up, spoiler alert, ended up killing the third
by accident.
The third by accident, and they covered it up.
The third victim.
So he always. It ate at him the whole time. So that's what he said. You never have no angels. Like don't let the angel something.
Oh, don't be in the business of being an angel.
Right, don't be in the business of being an angel. Right.
Yeah.
Because he was tormented. It broke him, and that's why he left the police precinct and then became a sheriff.
Yeah, but
in
then
some other town.
in the middle there was like he had a stroke, he had a divorce, and everything.
And stress on the case.
He had a bypass.
And the bypass and everything. Oh,
And everybody thought it was because the stress of the job, but it was actually the stress of the murder.
Right.
And the cover up, bro.
And the cover up.
So right. So in the end, when now he sees Rami Malek's character getting into that same zone, that same
history repeated itself.
Right, because it almost mirrored his situation.
Right.
He was white. He had 2 kids.
He sees the 2 kids.
He also had 2
exactly.
kids. And he was falling into that trap.
And then he ended up killing, Jared Leto's character after he made him chase him at a wild goose chase for the body, which he just toying with him the whole time.
Okay, so
and at the end, he sent him the hairpin, the beret, because he wants him to be at ease with what happened,
so that he can have closure.
Right. He can have closure, right? Because he told him, he told him, if you follow down this path, don't let it's going to eat at you alive for the rest of your life.
The little things.
The little things.
The little things.
Don't let it get to you.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the little things, right? This is the only part that got me upset.
Which part?
And I have to tell you, y'all. This guy who's not a killer, who's just done little stuff wrong, because he had a little rap sheet, but I forgot what he did. It was like a minor assault.
What he did
was a crime junkie, right?
He's a crime
buff. Right.
Yeah,
he's a crime junkie.
So what happened with him being a crime junkie? He went ahead and he said that he was in charge. What happened? That he was.
He confessed to another murder.
He confessed to a murder that he actually
never committed.
He never committed.
Right.
So he lied to the cops, but he got his buffs, his jollies out of it.
Right.
That was his thing.
Right.
And then when we talked about this before, we talked about that your turning point for that was when you knew he was a killer,
right,
with the milepost,
right,
and how they find out, because the only people that knew was the police,
right.
It was never leaked to the media or anything. Right. So now when we get towards the end,
no, but what was our argument?
Our argument was he had a police scanner.
That was our scanner. That he knew anyway.
All the details of it because he was listening on the radio.
Right, but that's not the part that got me upset. The part that got me upset, that I've never seen nothing like this in any movie. If y'all did, let me know. Is when he convinced a detective, a super detective, to get in the car with him to go get bodies, and then he's shoveling everywhere to look for bodies. I've never seen no stupidity like that in my life. I was over here like, what are you doing?
There has to be
supposedly he was like a manipulator. You know what I mean? So he's showing his skills as a manipulator.
Yo, dude,
he manipulated.
He's phenomenal, because I'm not getting in the car.
He he showed like he manipulated the police to believe his story. So this is him proving to himself, I could do it again, manipulate this guy into looking for these bodies that were never there.
Getting his jollies up again.
Yeah, this is what he gets off on. This is what makes him who he is. So
creepy.
Remember, he had crime books all over his room.
Right.
So you could tell he was an avid reader.
Yeah, he didn't care about money. He didn't care about sex. He didn't care about drugs. He just cared about manipulating the police and manipulating the crime.
And he had fun with it.
And had fun. That was what he did.
His arrogance destroyed him, yo.
Yeah.
But now when we get towards the end now, when Denzel helped him cover this whole up.
Got no choice.
To the end, now, because remember, they had 2 days to find out who did it before the FBI comes.
Right.
So now we don't know, which is why I like the ending. Because it leaves you in the cliffhanger.
You're right over there.
That hookah life.
Wow. Jeez Louise.
So in the end, when they bring the FBI in, so now we don't. It kind of leaves you in the cliffhanger. Like we don't know if it could turn out 2 ways. Number one is the FBI comes, they find out who the real killer is. And if they see that there's no more killings going on, then we know it was Jared Leto's character that was doing the killings. But now, if it turns out that the FBI did find the real killer, then we know that Jared Leto's character was innocent the whole time.
Right, but they didn't lead to that.
Right, so we don't know. So it leaves you in a cliffhanger.
Right,
yeah, it's a super
so it goes both
cliffhanger.
ways. Yeah,
it's like unbelievable, man. Like
so that's why I like.
You don't know. Because the FBI guy said, scratch everything you know.
Exactly.
Like
so far we know the killer is in his mid-20s, 30s, clean shaven, switches jobs all the time, switches, like moves,
high mileage in the car, and things like that.
Right. And it's like, and yeah, you guys are right. He's probably not the killer, because this guy just did it all on purpose.
Yeah.
But he was creepy as hell, though.
Oh no, I mean,
they made him good
Jared
though.
Leto.
But what were the things?
magnificent.
But what were the things that made you think that he was a killer?
Because one was the roast beef sandwich.
Roast beef sandwich, right? Because they said it was in
They
the
said,
GI
yeah,
tract,
mile,
right?
Yep.
mile 467.
And
Mile
then
467.
Mhm.
and
then
then
also
it was the
And his
The car.
behavior.
The car was a different car. Yeah, the
But
car,
he-
but he
he
did
ditched-
report it stolen.
Right, right.
You know, so he thought, but
Which
they
is-
never find any bloodstains or anything in the
and
car.
then again with the
Right.
mile marker.
And then also with the appliance repair place.
he was the only person that had access to the apartment.
To the apartment.
Right.
Yeah.
So
His name
and was
there.
also the beer
right,
that
the beer,
the
and
beer-
the pizza,
and the pizza
and
the bite mark.
and the bite marks.
and the obsession with that one picture when they had him in the interrogation room. Because Denzel said why? Because he was breaking it down, holding the picture as if like
He was excited.
He was
man.
as if he was there recreating it. Oh, okay, okay.
Better. I could have killed her in a better situation, in a
Right.
better manner. He was obsessed, and he felt like he made a mistake. I could have done this better. My art wasn't
Right,
perfect,
right.
And Denzel said something. I forget what Denzel said. He said something about we gonna get you, like we got you, But everything was leading up to this guy.
Like, no,
Everything was leading up to him.
And also his like I said, his behavior of this of acting like the suspect. That's like he tried to be the character of the suspect.
Right.
and make them believe he was the suspect. So
Yeah.
that was what
Twice.
he tried to make
Twice.
yeah. So that's what I guess they brought Jared Leto into to portray that role.
Right.
And then throw the zinger
Right.
at the end, but
Got smacked in the face with the shovel.
got smacked in the face with the shovel.
Oh, man.
I was over here like, stop it, man.
Yeah, he
He's
can't
not
be
dead.
dead.
He's not dead.
He's not dead.
No, he
what I
got him
thought.
good.
Yeah,
No,
he got him
he
good.
got him good.
Super crack. Like
Wake
crack.
up,
Skull
wake
crack.
up.
So for me, in conclusions from my story, is I don't see a sequel, but I can't see a prequel for the
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
In
Because-
conclusion.
because
Part 2 in conclusion.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. In the
okay.
beginning, the silhouette.
The
It was
silhouette.
a tall guy with a hat with glasses.
Mm.
You see glasses, but he didn't have a limp like Jared Leto did.
Jared Leto had a limp.
Jared Leto had a
That's
limp.
True.
The guy in the beginning, he didn't.
Right.
Right, so like I said, we'll never know unless there's
We'll
a prequel.
never know, but this is it's what's out there.
And that little girl, in the beginning, on everything I love, why are you leaving your car? Why do you leave your keys in the car, door open, nobody's there, but you're knocking on the door, willing to God that the lights are closed, that somebody might open the door of somewhere
man.
I was pissed.
Oh, but then she went she was at
I
the
was like,
precinct.
man, get her.
Also,
She was what?
the girl in the beginning of the
She
precinct.
was at the precinct.
But then she
Right.
saw him, but she couldn't realize, she couldn't think it was him or not.
Right.
She said, I need to
No,
see more
but I think
pictures.
the whole point was that there was no reason for her to see him because it kind of messed up the whole point of
Yeah,
him being
profiling,
seen.
right.
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 They don't want you to see him already because they peeped it. But at the end of the day, bro, I think it was still a good movie because I was locked
Me too.
in.
I
'Cause
liked
I
it.
enjoyed it.
I
I
couldn't
enjoyed
wait
it.
for them to be like, got you, But the ending is like, man, look, it's 6 out of 10 for me.
6 out of 10 for
5,
you.
Out of 20
Yeah.
talk, 15 out of 20.
15 out of 20.
15 out of 20 for 20.
I like that.
I would say 7 out of 10. I enjoyed
7
it.
out of 10.
I would
It was
say
still a
7.
good
So that's
It was-
14 out of 20.
There we
20
go.
talk.
15
There
out
we
of
go.
20. I like
There you
that.
go. 14 out of
So
20.
the guy on my left, Ken Karim, he's probably saying -1 out of 20.
No,
so
I mean,
we'll take it. It is what
I
it
give
is.
some points for HBO Max. I give
Mhm.
some points for being able to watch it at home.
Mhm.
I give some points for not being predictable.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
Absolutely.
definitely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I give some, but I don't give points for
Ending.
and the ending. Yeah, the ending can ruin a movie.
Yeah.
And this is 20 Talk, and we want to know what you guys think. So
You know where
Yeah.
to find us.
you know where to find us on 20 Talk. You know what I mean? This your boy King Karim.
Mm-hmm.
Dre Nice.
Hey, it's the Steph the Oracle.
It's your boy B. You already know.
And-
And one thing that we gotta understand that's important to me is Black History Month. Support to all of us. Black History Month to me is every month. They got calendars out there actually that if you find them every month, a great person of color in Black history, something happened. So I always feel it's like 1 month, not everything happened in 1 month
In
of
1
February.
month, right.
So it's
Definitely.
just like really,
Right.
really, it's just unfortunate that, we celebrate for 1 month. But, if you really care, you always look and you always do your due diligence. One thing for me about Black history is when I was young, living in Brooklyn, the very first Black history person I looked up was Matthew A. Henson. So he was the first person to reach, one of the first people to reach the North Pole, or the first person to reach the North Pole.
Oh, so on an expedition? Nice.
Right, on the expedition. Took
Wow.
him a year, right? Now, this is the part where this is awesome. Guess who great uncle that is?
No idea.
Hidden Figures, Taraji P. Henson.
Get out
No
of here.
way,
Nice.
you're lying.
The
Absolutely.
connection. The connection.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah, that's why I loved it when I was young, and I always remembered it, and I wrote it, had to write about it, you know, because everybody try to do the, you know, of course, Dr. Martin Luther King,
Right.
you know what he did, right? Malcolm X ran there. Me,
Right.
I went a complete left. I saw this guy, and I said, "Dag, yo, he reached the North Pole." Because when you're young, you're thinking about Santa Claus,
Right.
the North Pole. Me, when I saw this, I was just like, for some reason, I was intrigued. I said, "Damn, black man, like, why you really wanted to go to the North Pole, huh? Why? But you did it, you
That's
know."
amazing.
And then years later,
Pioneer, man.
when this movie came out, and then I saw she was talking about it, she said, "Yeah, my great uncle is Matthew A. Henson."
Nice.
Remarkable. And the Henson family, they got generations in DC. Generations, like 3 generations. You know how some people be like, "Well, I got 1 generation in Brooklyn, and then, well, my family from Haiti, and then Brooklyn, and then, well,
Right.
I'm Long Island now, right?" Yo, 3 generations in one place. Like,
Nice.
now we're here. They know us.
They're here
That's
to stay.
amazing.
You
That's
know?
amazing.
So that's one of my favorite things in parts of Black History Month. You know,
I remember my first book report in 3rd grade. It was about Frederick Douglass,
Mm,
talking about the research of peanuts and all this stuff. Like it was good.
mhm.
That was my. I think we had to draw names in a hat or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And my name was, Frederick Douglass.
That's dope.
Yeah.
We didn't have to draw hats, man.
We had to
They
draw
said-
names.
They told us, "Yo, find yours,
Fine.
find yours." You know.
No, but definitely Black History Month is a month to remember. Like you said, every month, and like we definitely have great. I mean, 20 Talk is about good movies and good shows, and
Yeah.
we definitely have some great. Shout out to Denzel,
Mhm.
actors and directors and producers.
Absolutely.
You know, I definitely want to mention
And the women that are
yeah.
out there
Absolutely.
making Stradway in
Mhm.
just just directing and producing. So that's another amazing thing too.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, I want to shout out Steve McQueen. He's
Oh yeah.
he's a director. You know, he's known for 12 Years a Slave.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Nice.
Monumental.
He directed that. You know, and but his recent work is on Amazon Prime. Shout out Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime.
They have this film series. It's called Small Acts.
Mm.
You know, so it's
Nice.
it's just a set of 5 films set in London's West Indian community from the late 1960s to the early 80s. And if you watch, like I said, it's what's believable when I watch a movie.
hmm
And if you watch I got through the first 2. I'm still got 3 more to go. It's so believable on what was going on back then.
Nice.
And
Oh, so you relate
yeah.
on some level with
Yeah, like you not even relate. Like he make the director shout out.
Makes
to
you
Steve.
feel like you're there.
It makes you feel like you're there, and makes you feel like whoa, like this actually really happened. You know, and it's definitely it's a quick, long story short. It has to do with the racial injustice going on between that time and then between the 1960s and to the 1980s.
That's crazy because we only see movies here from the U.S.
Yeah,
Mhm.
dealing with the racial stuff. And this is from London, right? You
This
said
is- yeah,
how they
yeah.
dealt with it. That's pretty cool.
yeah, and
Check it out.
Definitely an eye opener. You know, Steve McQueen, it says here, he's half Grenadian, half Trinidadian.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Shout out the West Indian community,
Facts.
you know, and definitely something for everybody to talk about, on 20 Talk. You know, let us know what you think.
All right. For me, one of the movies that I'm suggesting is One Night in Miami.
Mm.
You know, it takes
Amazon Prime again.
Mhm, mhm.
And it's directed by one of my favorite actresses or actor now. It's Regina King.
Actor.
love her.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Love her.
Watchmen, dope.
Phenomenal.
Exactly.
Phenomenal.
So this is pretty much a fictional account of one incredible night
Mhm.
in where icons Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, and Sam Cooke met up, and Jim Brown talk about their roles for the civil rights movement.
Mm.
So is this
Man,
where?
just imagine that.
Yeah, so-
just them meeting up.
Yeah,
Mm,
so
right.
so the meeting. Well, technically, Muhammad Ali at that time was still Cassius Clay, and then after this meeting, he converted to Islam.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Malcolm X pretty much brought him into to be a Muslim.
Look at that.
Wow.
So like I said, he was conflicted, and then with this meeting that took place in Miami, it was right after his fight.
Really? That's kind of amazing. So he was Cassius Clay still?
Yeah,
around that time.
And then once after that fight, when he came out to do interviews, he you guys can call me now. I think Muhammad X. I think Muhammad X or something like that. I think it was. I forgot. Before Muhammad Ali, it was Muhammad X.
Right.
And then he took Muhammad Ali.
Right.
But it was overall a good movie. And then talk about Sam Cooke, and then
so I think the other follow up is that there's a documentary on Netflix about Sam Cooke.
The two killings of Sam Cooke,
I haven't had the opportunity to see it, but I would love to see that follow up with One Night in Miami, and then to see that, just to see the correlation,
right?
And that'd be something definitely to watch,
especially what went down in the '60s.
Oh man!
Oh my god!
With the racial tension,
absolutely,
it was crazy.
And I
enjoyed the movie.
Yeah, and I just always say, it's amazing. Us folks of color, black people, Hispanics, who's been through so much in the U.S. of it, we didn't lose it till this very day, 2021, y'all. Like, white folks lost it and raided D.C. They lost it. Till this day, we still haven't lost it. That's God. Because God knows if we lose it, oh my God. Well, like, it's crazy, man. But I'm sorry, Urkel. I know you had something to say.
What about you, Steph?
Oh no, it was definitely the Sam Cooke, the two killings of Sam Cooke. That was definitely something that I would love to see and follow up.
Okay. Yeah.
And to follow up with Hidden Figures, I haven't had an opportunity to see that too. So probably that would be a great.
Yeah, Hidden Figures is great.
I haven't had the opportunity, so I definitely want to see that. Not just because it's Black History Month, but it's just a matter of just watching something that's great on screen, and that's something I definitely have to follow up on.
It's a great movie. But so it's Black History Month. But guys, I'm sorry, we gotta talk about these challenges now. So it's funny talk time. This is King Karim's favorite movement.
Shout out funny talk. You know what I mean? We're not drinking tonight though, so
I wish he had a sip of some, because he would have overdid it. But tonight he didn't. But he got the hookah. But these challenges is getting annoying.
I don't know. I like them. You know what I mean?
Nah.
Especially the one
with
the girls. Yeah.
Nah, it's getting annoying, man. It's. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Don't even talk about that yet, dog. Don't even talk about that.
Don't go yet.
Hold on. Funny talk. This is not even for me. This is not even for you. Dre Nice.
What's up?
This is your thing today. This is yours. GameStop.
Don't get me started.
Oh man,
GameStop and these mofos.
Yo, you got to talk about this, because this is insanity. What these people in the trade and business did. So, what actually did they do?
Well, GameStop, it's going bankrupt. So, what they did was, the hedge fund companies told their investors to pretty much take out the money, or I think it's called shorting the bet.
Right.
So what they did was they lowered the price of the stock so low, because they don't own the shares. They borrow the shares, and then once it gets low, they could sell it, and they make money off of selling it when the stock is low.
Right.
So this group from Reddit called Wall Street Bets saw that it was happening. It was like, yo, you guys need to push up the price of these stocks to go back at these hedge fund companies.
Wow.
So now, like I said, the way they make money is when this price drops, they sell, they get the money back, then they give the money back to what money they borrowed. And so in this case, it backfired on them. So overnight, all these Redditors just started buying GameStop, and it went up to $450 per share.
Yeah, but it went down to $30 to $80 a share. So the Reddit buyers bought it at $30 to $80 a share.
No, it was $19.
$19. Okay, so it went lower than
$19.
Yeah, but here's the thing now. Like, if you like us little small investors, is we just want to invest into something. The apps, Robinhood, Coinbase, Stash, they were not letting people buy.
But this was 2 days later.
And this was 2 days. No, it was
because this happened on Tuesday into Wednesday overnight.
Right. And then Thursday,
because I went into Robinhood and I was able to buy, but I didn't buy. I was able to still purchase, but I went the next day after, and then it restricted you from buying it wasn't just GameStop, but it was like 13 other companies that they were going to try to push to short the bet. To give
They were actually gonna do silver. They were gonna do like
cryptos and everything.
The value of silver. They're gonna push the
so all those companies that they named, they blocked them from buying.
Yeah.
So now Robinhood is getting lawsuits.
Oh no, they're getting lawsuits.
They're getting lawsuits right now.
They gotta deal with it. They gotta deal with it.
Yeah. So all these companies, they had no choice but to buy the stock back
at the price.
At the price $4.50, so they won't lose any more money. But now at this time, they already lost like $13 billion already.
Say that number again.
$13 billion or 1.3, so between $1 and $10 billion they lost.
Say that one more time.
And some of these hedge fund companies are going bankrupt.
Say that one more time.
Billions of dollars.
Billions of dollars.
So now the rich get poor and the poor get rich.
Yeah. And the gamers continue to game. You know. So,
that's right.
So
and then shout out to Hunter Khan, who invested into GameStop when he found this out. So he did good with it. He ended up cashing out his money, made tons of money. So what he did was he went to GameStop, bought a whole bunch of Switches, and went to the hospital to deliver it to the kids.
Oh,
so he's giving back, paying it forward.
Good for him.
So that's like a good story.
So the games that they created, right? So since it went bankrupt, I'm kind of curious. Let's say 2021 NBA.
No, they don't. They just sell the games.
No, they just sell the games.
GameStop don't make games.
They don't make just sell
so their prices still stay the same.
Yeah.
So long story short, GameStop was going to end up like Blockbuster.
Yeah.
They were going to lose to the streaming format
regardless.
Right. But they got smart and they said, you know what? We're going to liquidate our brick and mortar stores and we're going to take that money and put it towards online sales.
Online sales.
So that kept them afloat. Right. But they were still floating on. They were sinking and floating at the same time. And like you said, the hedge funds were going to say, all right,
but check this out. Yeah. Because of this, GameStop became top 10 Fortune 500 companies, right?
Yeah.
And I still can't get a PS5.
And I still can't get a PS5.
You don't need
one. Unbelievable, y'all.
So Netflix was on that boat, was floating too, bro. Netflix, really? Yeah, that's why they got rid of the CDs. And went straight to
right.
They went straight to streaming. So you know what I mean. Yeah. So GameStop smartened up. They saw Blockbuster. They saw Netflix. They said, you know what? Let's get rid of this physical format and let's just do everything online.
Yeah, so
it's cheap or less, and the money that they save, they put it towards the online sales. And the hedge funds are still gonna try to make their profit somehow once the stock went down.
So now they restricted all these apps from buying.
Yep.
And then once
they were pissed at that.
I was watching Cuomo Primetime.
What did he say?
He had both of them in there. He had the CEO of Robinhood and the creator of the Redditor app Wall Street Bets. So the CEO pretty much said it was done to protect the little people from buying, but at the same time, I think it was all liquidity.
No, but you want to know something?
Because I don't think they had enough resources to pay everybody out.
Right.
No, and I tell you why. I got a bullshit email from Robinhood telling us, that we made these decisions in order to protect you guys, and I was like, that's a BS.
They don't have enough capital to pay people.
They couldn't pay out the
sales. So now 2 days later on Thursday,
they're backtracking.
They restricted. They're limiting the amount of stocks to buy per person. So now I can't even go buy $20,000 worth. I could probably only buy like $1,000 worth of stocks. And it had a list. I think you can only buy 10 per person, something like that.
Because they're free. They're free trading.
Right.
So they probably make their money off of advertisement.
Right. So basically, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, so now pretty much they use their tactics against the hedge funds.
So this is nothing.
I think this is great.
This is nothing, but it is something. And
it's funny.
Crazy, but it's not crazy. But it's crazy at the same time because we're talking about money now.
Yeah, but people try to get into it too late. Right. If you're not into it from the beginning, then it makes no sense for you to invest now. It made no sense for you
to invest in that point.
You're not going to make your money anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially at this point, so.
Sure, you said $19 and it went back to $4.50.
Yeah. Dude, man.
God. Oh my God. So let me see if I had.
It's called the right place at the right time.
Exactly.
Who did that?
If I had it's called the right place.
Literally the right place.
Who did
the
that?
Right time.
Who did the? Oh my God! I always forget. Oh, Martha Stewart had that insider trading.
Yeah.
Were you mad about that?
Yeah, but this is not insider trading.
No. Why is it not? Oh, why is it not?
They're considering it kind of like.
That's what I'm saying.
But it's not.
It's not.
because they're basically saying they ganged up, like they came to an idea of let's all buy the stock, which is it's not that they knew that the company was gonna have some kind of edge, but they wanted to, they had a plan of effect of they knew the outcome.
Attack plan.
Yeah, they knew what was gonna happen if they did this, so something like that.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Sounds like insider trading.
That's what it sounds like to me. Because if the hedge fund people said, "Oh, yo, don't buy or don't invest into them," because they see something they're predicting, it's
because they want their
something
money.
that's trending.
Right.
So how is that not like considered insider trading?
It's
I'm
not
just asking.
insider trading. Because if that's the case, then that means everybody would have known.
Not everybody needs to know.
No, Reddit didn't keep it a secret. They knew that they told that they said we're gonna do this. Insider trading is only like me and R&B and the Oracle
before it goes live.
Before it goes live, we're gonna before the next big thing happens, we knew that it was gonna happen.
So
and we bought up all the shares.
Right. So the insider trading is me withdrawing out of it before it goes bankrupt.
That's crazy.
And Martha Stewart, in her case, somebody tipped her. Right. You need to get out the market now before it drops, or else you lose all your money.
Who said that? It was Cat Williams. Like, bitch, take out your money now before you lose it all.
Exactly. They was touching like
in this case, the Redditors was like, "Yo, let's push it in there and screw these guys."
Damn, they're like the Houston Astros, right?
Yeah. So now
cheating asses, unbelievable.
Yeah, but I think they already deemed it that they can't go after these guys. So.
Oh, they ready? It's ready.
Yeah, it's done. They can't come after them.
The Feds locked it in, like it's a wrap.
Well, they want the CEC to get involved, but I think they can't.
Dang.
Really?
I think those guys made like even the guys who were the shareholders, they made millions of dollars off of this because they didn't
good
sell.
For them.
So they stuck with the shares.
Okay.
The shareholders.
Good for them.
Man, that's tough, man. Because that thing was going crazy. The guy, Robin Hood, I saw him try to talk about it, and people were like in the comments like. So he said nothing for like 4 power minutes.
Basically.
Pretty much.
He said nothing.
He said the same thing in the emails.
Unbelievable.
Just dancing around the question. Just dancing around.
Robin Hood is pretty much backed by some of these hedge fund companies.
Right, of course.
So
obviously.
So it's in their best interest to kind of keep everything on
so that's what it was
their side.
Right.
So I was just like,
So that's what everyone thinks now because they felt like even though Robin Hood was created for the people, to cut out the middleman from investing.
Here we are.
Here we are. Like they're thinking like they're probably backing, the companies that back them.
Right.
So they stop trading. So, but they're saying that's not the case. But like I said, we'll see. But now they're being under investigation. So we'll see what the report is.
It's a punch in the mouth, y'all.
No, I want to see what's the next big thing. And you guys in Reddit, please hit us on 20 Talk. Let me know where
20 Talk stocks.
Let me know where and when and who needs my money. Yeah, and
wait, what is it? Black coins?
Yeah.
Okay, what year? 2028?
Yeah,
right. Good.
I mean, you guys
it's coming out next month.
Yeah,
gotcha.
You guys need to definitely get to us on 20 Talk. I mean,
tell us something.
Talk about that crypto.
Something's got to give, and I mean, we appreciate this change. You know what I mean, so definitely, if you guys are listening, let us know on 20 Talk where to go, what to do,
what not to do,
what not to do,
what not to do,
what not to do,
and like I said,
don't tell nobody.
Yeah.
It's like nope.
Yeah, I mean,
oh my God.
And help everybody.
Let help everybody at the same time. Yo, look, man, it's a real situation when this is the moment where you just say, "Wow, well, the rich get rich, don't they?" Like this is it. This is that moment, Every time you hear about stuff like this, you hear the Robin Hood guy, the CEO, just mumbling, just dancing, just doing twists with his words, and nothing's gonna happen. Nothing. Unbelievable, man. So
regular.
I guess there goes the busted challenge because that's out the window because that whole situation was annoying, but it wasn't funnier than the way these guys was going at it last week with this whole the Reddit Robin Hood.
It was so crazy because I was getting all these notifications like, this is volatile, and I'm like, who? Like what?
Right.
What is this going on? And I was like, what?
Yeah.
But all these other challenges in life, talking about silhouette,
Oh
What's
my
that new thing that's
God,
coming out
man.
now?
It's the busted challenge, the
Busted
silhouette
challenge,
challenge,
yeah.
Silhouette challenge.
and I was reading the other day that the women on the silhouette challenge need to be careful because there's some people that know how to get rid of the filter. And it would never, so they ain't a silhouette no more. It's the real thing. Like, you know what I mean?
I didn't even know that.
It's like a strip
Yeah.
club when they turn on the lights.
Yeah,
bro.
it's like a strip club when you turn on the lights, yo.
But they're not
They
naked.
start
though.
running.
So, well, some of them are.
Some of them straight.
But
Yeah,
where?
'cause the whole
where
point
did
is to
it
show you the
originally
silhouette.
From? Where did it originally from?
I have no
TikTok.
idea.
No.
TikTok?
Like, you know how there's always like one person, like a celebrity that probably started it or something to that extent.
Well, I'm reading right
I
now.
don't
The busted challenge was a regular person on TikTok, and she didn't.
She was a rapper.
And she didn't even do the transition. She just did the whole thing.
Erica Banks.
Yeah.
Erica
That's
Banks
her
created the
song.
song. Yeah.
So and it said a woman named Erica DeVille was one of the first to challenge in her video. It says she was deemed dancing without transition, and I guess I ain't gonna lie, that beat is hard.
No, the beat is hard.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
It's amazing because none of y'all heard the whole song yet, right?
No.
Nah, I
Exactly.
haven't heard that, but that beat is just
It
hard.
probably
Like,
went platinum. Just hearing the
Oh yeah.
bust it, something.
Are
something.
we?
Yeah, bust it. So it's and then the silhouette is from what's baby girl name? Doja Cat.
Doja Cat.
Yeah. Then that song's dope though. That song's dope. So and then it started from there. TikTok is shout out to TikTok.
No. You go into that TikTok wormhole and you
Yeah,
just,
I am, man.
you
Just-
keep going. It's the same thing with Facebook,
2 hours later.
right?
It says here the silhouette challenge originally was created as a way to empower the female body.
Of course, obviously. But men is doing it too, so it's like like come on, fellas.
I'm
let
about
the
to bust
ladies
out my
live.
stomach.
Oh, there's a guy who did that. Yeah, he leaned on the door on the
Too
side.
late.
Yeah, he did it. But it's just these challenges, bro. Like, man, it's just like annoying, man. Like,
What's the next challenge?
what's the next one?
I mean, what do you think is annoying about it? It's just flooding your timeline.
Flooding the timeline, bro. Like, there's a point where you just, I mean, at the end of the day, we're scrolling, and we're just gonna look at social media. But there's some songs. The busted song, I don't want to hear that no more.
No.
I'm done with that song.
I'm done.
Like
Nah.
Baby Girl.
All I know is
Erica
that
Banks.
verse.
Yeah, you, right.
Busted.
Yeah, you made $1 million. You're good. We don't want to hear it no more. Then the Silhouette song is now here. Now that song is dope, and I just started hearing it last week anyway. But then soon it's gonna be something else. What's the new one I showed you? Big titties, little waist. Big titties, little waist. Pretty face, pretty lips. It's just like, yeah. Don't get me wrong. I love big titties, little waist, pretty face. But golly, it's just getting annoying, man.
I don't know. Like I said,
I love him.
and the
a
memes
guy.
the memes
I'm a
get me through
guy,
the
so
day.
Entertainment.
Entertainment. The memes get me through the day. I just be like, hope my coworkers don't catch me watching this shit. But like,
The snitches, right?
he was watching
Yo, he was
porn
in
on
the
his.
corner.
He was at work, like watching adult video. I'm like, how do you, I don't know, but
He said adult video.
I'm like, I gotta find my own area in the lunchroom and sit down.
Wow. Wow.
Because but some of them they also have like the funny version of it, like and they do some crazy
Yeah,
nonsense.
put humor into it.
Put humor into it, like you know what I mean. And like I said, it gets me through the day sometimes. You know, what I mean? Your lunch break or whatever it is, and like those are the things that de-stress a little bit, and I'll be like saying to myself, when do people have time to do all this shit?
Right.
Hello, quarantine.
Quarantine.
It is quarantine.
COVID.
Yeah.
People ain't working.
People ain't working.
Some people go, remote work, for the
Yeah.
most
Then
part.
some
So
people do
there's
the
time.
challenge to go
And-
to get famous. too.
Now, yeah.
Once you
now-
get those followers, then you start making money, bro.
Yeah, but remember, forget YouTubers. They got the Instagrammers. People make 6 figures. People make 6 figures. They got
All they're
TikTok
doing
people.
is providing content.
It started with Vine.
It started
And then
with
Vine is done. Instagram took over.
Right.
Now we got TikTok.
And then you got there's somebody I saw. She had like 10 million viewers.
Woo.
I forgot why, but I was just like on TikTok. Like, godly lady.
People
Like-
create videos for all dumb things, bro.
That's
Like even
content.
eating.
Content.
Was it ASMR, right?
Yeah,
That's what it's called?
yeah.
What's that?
That's like somebody just
You're focusing on the sound effects and how it makes you feel in that
Yeah.
particular area. That.
So, for example, if you like seafood and you hear cracking crabs and stuff and lobster, so you basically is a dead silence room. They have an acoustic mic, and all you hear is like,
Yeah,
And people watch this, bro.
People watch
and
it.
And I'm talking about 50,000 a month, 60,000 a month,
yeah.
and sponsors.
We're not talking about OnlyFans.
We're not talking about OnlyFans, bro. And I'm talking about off of eating crab.
Red Lobster sponsor.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
Well, this is 20 Talk, guys, so I'm going to get a new job. And I think it's watching people crack crabs and eat so I can
Dude,
just
it's
react.
anything, bro.
And it's any content you can think of.
Yeah.
Whatever you want is out there.
You can't even get mad, though.
Nah, I
You
can't.
can't get mad at that bullshit. I'm going to start doing bullshit, too, man. It is what it is. So, look, y'all, today was fun. Today was real fun. Busted challenge, I'm tired of it.
Silhouette challenge.
The silhouette challenge, but Super Bowl.
Yes.
I got Kansas City. You got
Tom Brady.
you got Tom Brady.
Tampa Bay.
I'll take Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
And I take the wings.
Pizza and wings.
We definitely
Some
ordered
beer.
pizza and wings, right? Yeah. So, little things. Just to recap, we suggest you go see it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Definitely go see it. It's a movie that it's just gonna hold you there,
Disappoint you.
and then
Oh, come on. Don't say
It's gonna hold you there.
it's gonna hold you there.
It's like
And last but not least, R.I.P. to the people who passed away in that horrific situation in
Yeah, yeah.
Pennsylvania.
yeah.
We just don't get it, but So, Ken Karim, where can they find us at?
Yo, this is 20 Talk, and we on everything, right? We on IG, Facebook.
We're on Facebook. We're on
Twitter,
Instagram. We're
Apple,
on Twitter.
Google,
Breaker Radio.
Mm.
Apple
Anchor,
Podcasts. Spotify.
everything. We're
We're
everywhere.
on it. So please, guys, follow us. Follow, like, and share.
And this is 20 Talk's quote of the show. We always try to end it on that positive note.
Yes.
And here's my man, Aaron B.
Namaste.
Hey guys, so today's quote of the day, from me, is not from no book. Basically, with everything that went on, we found out about that situation in Pennsylvania. Choose your words wisely.
Yeah.
Choose your words wisely. You don't know who you're talking to in a particular manner. You're a grown up, and I'm talking to the grown folks, the kids too, but especially the grown folks. You don't know who
Right.
you're talking to in a particular way. It doesn't matter if you're having a bad day. If you're having a bad day, walk away from anybody who's trying to put you in any type of situation,
Yeah.
any commotion, because it's not worth it, man. These people were young. They were young, grown folks who passed away in the worst way imaginable. And they were neighbors at that.
Right.
Treat your neighbors right too at the same time. If you don't got nothing to say, they don't say it.
Right.
If
But
you
at
don't got
the-
nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, choose your words wisely.
Remember, words last forever.
Yeah.
Right, forever. So this is 20 Talk, everybody. Have a good one.